Hello YouTube, it's Aaron and Mike from Team Endgame here, bringing you a deck breakdown on my new Prism deck from the new Bermuda Dazzling Divas Extra Booster. Starting off with the triggers as usual, we've got 6 draw and 6 crit and the 4 heal, with Koro as your starter. Now the reason I'm running 6 draw and 6 crit, going from my usual 8 crit and 4 draw, is that this deck struggles with consistency. There's not really a lot going on until you ride Labrador, which causes some issues. So, if you ride Labrador. So I've just chucked in those extra 2 draws to help, or try and help, get through my deck and get the cards that I need. Koro is your starter. When you bounce another Bermuda from your field to your hand, she bounces along with it of her own effect, which is vital, in my opinion, for Labrador's skill for the 10k and crit, which we'll get onto a bit later. As alternatives, the only one I do see is Shizuka, which is your grade 3 searcher, but the issue is that it means taking out Koro, which again goes against the fact that what I said is that she combos well with Labrador. The grade 1 for the Prisms consists of 4 perfect guards, 4 Mercure, 3 clear, and 3 late. Now, obviously 4 perfect guards, but Mercure is your 10k swinger. The only alternative for that one is basically Sedna, your 8k. But because she's not a Prism, I basically don't use her. Oh. Clear is one of the good, better cards that came out in the set, which is when she is bounced from the field to your hand, you Soul Blast 1 and give another unit 4k. So that is so useful in breaking barriers on your rearguard column so you can hit past with crits and whatever you have to it. And then late at the end there is your 6k booster that when it boosts Labrador, you can Soul Blast 1 to give it 5k. Again, useful in the rearguard, so you have a rearguard Labrador hitting for 22s, but what I usually use it for is a Vanguard booster after I've done my bouncing, so that I can hit for 22 down the Vanguard column, or if I do the skill, it's 32, which annoys Mike a lot.
Better late than never, though.
As for grade 2s, you got 4 10k beat stick with the Prism name in it, 4 Lumiere, which is a 12k swinger, and 3 Celtic, which is the same as Clear. When it's bounced, you Soul Blast 1 and give 4k to another unit, which is the grade 2 version. Again, it's a really beat sticky lineup, again, because they're all Prisms. Alternatives would be Scotia, which is your 8k. When you attack, you can counter blast 1 Bermuda Triangle to give it 4k, so that'll go up to 12. But at the end of the day, you need to save your counter blast for Labrador. Rosa, which is your support breaker, as people now call them. If you have a limit break for Vanguard or Rearguard, she'll get 3k on attack, so she's 11 with no real cost, which is wonderful, but it's the fact that she's an 8k on ride, the same with Scotia, so it's even the Rearguard, it just makes it an easy target, so cheap attacks like Street Bouncer can hit it.
Yeah, awesome.
Bloody Street Bouncer. Now another one I've thought about using is the Damage Adder, just for the fact that it can force Labrador to limit break if I don't get the ride break off, so I can do like an early push and then obviously send a trigger back or something. But it's the issue, one, there's not a lot of space, I don't know what to take out, and again, it's not a Prism, so that leads to more issues there. And the grade 3s, as you might expect, well, sort of, I've got 3 Labrador and 4 Vert, which is your ride break. Now, as I did say at the start of the video, I have actually been having some consistency issues with this, so I'm actually thinking of changing the 3 Labrador to 4 and the Vert down to 3, so I'm able to find Labrador a bit quicker. But for now, this is how I've actually been playing it. The idea being that I ride Vert first as my grade 3 if I can, pre-limit break. As soon as I hit limit break, I re-ride either another Vert or a Labrador, so I get the ride break skill of just drawing 1 card, bouncing stuff, and setting my field up again. But as I said, it's not really working out too well at the moment. Now, Labrador is your key boss card, which Michael doesn't like. He thinks it's...
No, it's terrible. It's so boring. It's just costless. Pretty much. It's ridiculous.
Basically, limit break skill is when you attack, you can call up to 3 Prism units from your hand.
So what you're going to do anyway.
If you do call 3 this way, this unit will get 10k and a crit.
Sure. Is it 10k?
10k and a crit, yeah.
Okay, the break ride done 10.
No, if you ride the break ride, you'll get 10k as well.
Oh, so it goes about 20k.
So ideally, best situation, you have your ride break out, and then you ride over with Labrador at limit break, you draw a card, you get the 10k, you bounce 2 units, then you attack with the 21, your skill activates, you drop 3 cards, and then it gets a net for 10k, so it's 31 in a crit.
That's nice.
What I usually do late game, or once I've set everything up, is I have a late behind her, do the Soul Blast, so it attacks for 32 in a crit every turn.
What, late game?
Stop with the puns. Seriously.
Yes.
The only other grade 3 that would be considered is Atoll. Your 12k attacker when it's boosted, but it means taking one of them out, and I really haven't got the space for it. And I'd rather have an 11k as a ride. And now we're going to introduce a new section to our deck breakdowns where we go over the deck's strengths and weaknesses.
Start with.
So starting off, thank you, Mike. Starting off, we're going to go through the strengths. So basically, one of your best case scenarios is going to be this.
I mean, this is a stupidly good case, so let's point out.
Yeah, I know. You get pushed to 4 damage, you got your ride break out. You go Labrador, ride, skill will activate. You draw a card. So you +1, so the reride doesn't neg you. The skill of the ride breaks let you bounce 2 units, so say you bounce those 2. Your starter also bounces. Oh, and look at that, you've got 3 open spaces. Isn't that wonderful? So all you do is attack, cool, and then you get a stupid 31 and a crit.
There's no point using the Soul Blast, really.
Well, you can't, because I just called it this
time.
Yeah,
I know, but there's no point using it because of the ride break.
Yeah.
It's there in case you don't, in which case you'd return different cards.
Your opponent will have to guard heavy, or use perfect guards, or however they play. Next turn, whether they attack your Vanguard and you start guarding, or they just attack your rear guards, at the end of the day, they've given you open spaces, so it all feeds to Labrador's skill. You stand, you counterblast, bounce 2, oh look at that. Empty spaces for your skill again, and you just keep doing that, preferably with a Soul Blast at this point, so you're hitting 32 just with that. At least that's how I see it. That always needs to be played, so that when you have to bounce a unit, you bounce 2 with 1 counterblast. And then from there, you just press your opponent with high numbers in a crit every turn until either you lose, or you run out of soul, or you run out of counterblast, or your opponent just dies from the crits.
Yeah. It's rather annoying.
And this bit is where the weaknesses come in. This is the worst situation you can probably be in, and it happens so much to me.
Especially because I'm against you.
Yeah, because you're against me. I don't know how other people play, but this is the worst things you can do against a Labrador build or Prism build. You're at right. You got your ride break out. You got a nice little field set up, and you're at 3 damage. Worst thing that they can do is just attack your rear guards.
What we do is at this point, I attack your Vanguard with my Vanguard. You go perfect guard. Okay, get rid of your rear guards. And it's just like, okay. So you're gonna have to let my Vanguard through. So you risk a crit, in which case, yeah, you get another bit of damage or something. But then I just push as quick as I can.
That's the only way.
So the only way you're going to get 4 damage from me is to let my Vanguard through. So
and risk a crit, which could possibly push you to end game and make you lose the game. But the fact is, this deck is so reliant on limit break, it's unbelievable. If you don't get that limit break, then there's no point re-riding. Well, I guess you can re-ride with Labrador.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what's it doing? You're losing the 18 hit with that, so you can't hit cross rides anymore. You're not gaining anything from it.
You can't get the effect either.
There's no point re-riding a break ride just to draw a card, because it won't activate.
You're pretty stuck, really.
Yeah, basically that. Second, even if you do have Labrador out instead, it's still the same issue. You need the limit break to do anything. And on top of that, you need to find it, because I think it was
it also has no draw power or anything like that. So this is why it runs the draw triggers. So you have to have the ideal hand. You have to run that starter. So you can't run the grade 3 searcher really. Your resources aren't being used enough.
Yeah,
for other
the only
things.
thing that counterblast is Labrador. So that becomes another issue. So if you don't find it, what are you doing all game? Nothing, except for beats sticking your way through.
You can run other stuff, but they have to be prisms, don't do the effects, so the maximum you can do is probably just use counterblasting.
Another situation, which actually happened at a local tournament, was my opponent was using these. They had their limit break out, but they had something like that. They had one counterblast free. I attacked their Vanguard, they guarded. I just didn't attack with my rear guards.
What do you mean they're on 5 damage?
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
They're on 4 damage, fine. I just didn't attack.
He was on 4 damage, not 5. All
My
right.
opponent looked at me funny, and then he kind of realised that he's only got one open space. That wasn't there. I'm realising the flaws in this setup, hang on. Yeah, he didn't have that out. I know he didn't. But yeah, basically that. So he was going to hopefully intercept with them and then get the skill off. But the fact I've left him like that with only one counterblast, all he can do is bounce one.
So
And then he can't do the skill.
He can't call 3, so...
So again, it's very reliant on your field setup. So if you can't do Labrador's skill, then it's not much of a threat at all. You're attacking for, what, a measly 17, so that's a 15 guard. There's no threat of a crit. If you're at 3-4 damage, you can risk it if you want to, because it's not going to kill you.
That's about it. On the weaknesses front, I think.
And that was my Prism deck breakdown. Overall, I feel that the deck, while incredibly strong with Labrador's skill, has some major consistency issues, because throughout all the game you're not using most of your resources, and it causes issues until you find Labrador. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. Please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to this video and our channel, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye!